Hello, everybody. Welcome to Conspiracy or Reality. Today's episode is going to be called Is Freedom an Illusion? This video today, we're going to take a hard look at the so called free country we live in today. At least that's what they tell us, that we're free, right? Even though sometimes it doesn't feel all that way, and it really don't seem that way. I want to take us all back to a time when this country was founded and when rich elite had in mind for the future and had what they had in mind for the masses. At least I want to say in this video, none of this is exact fact. This is 100% my opinion. But who are the rich people and the rich families that I'm talking about? I'm talking about the secret societies, the people planning all the big events behind the doors, the Freemasons, the Illuminati, the groups that everyone's heard about, but, is obviously being told it's a big conspiracy. The Trilateral Commission, the World Economic Forum, families like the Rockefellers. These rich and powerful people get together behind closed doors, whether we know it or not, away from the public eye, and plan future events. Did you know George Washington helped create the layout of Washington, D.C.? When you look at Washington, D.C. from a bird's eye view, you'll see hidden messages in the roads, like the Freemason symbol, or a pentagram. And what do you know? The White House sits at the very tip of the pentagram. Did you know when you're driving and you enter your home city, the sign that says "Welcome to Detroit" or whatever the name of the city is, you'll see the certain symbols like the Rotary Club, or you'll see the Freemason symbol at the bottom. If you look next time you go through, you'll see it. Well, when the powers that be founded this country, they still wanted to rule over the masses, the rich elite did. We were never meant to be totally free. But they knew from history that if all the poor people were too poor, the poor people would eventually overthrow the rich and powerful. The thing was is that we outnumbered them 100 to 1. So they come up with the concept of telling all of us that we are free people and we can control the government by voting and other means. And they teach us just enough to know how to build the cars, cut the grass, run the machines. They learned if they allowed us just enough wealth and freedom to be comfortable, to not be starving to death, that we'll do whatever they tell us to do. We'll punch the clock in, day out, just like zombies. But as we see today, that voting and all this that they tell us don't really matter, right? I mean, come on, everyone was around in 2020 because first of all, they handpicked both politicians. So, I mean, you're voting for two players on the same team. In the end, they never do what they say while they're campaigning, anyways. They promise us a bunch of promises that they're going to do, and they never do. And when we finally had a president that did what he said he was going to do, look what happened. The whole world came to an end. I mean, the media, everybody, they attacked him every day. I don't even want to mention his name because they'll probably flag my video. And here's another thing that we all need to look at is that, the slave owners will never teach the slaves how to unslave themselves. They will never teach us how to free ourselves. Remember in school all the dumb stuff they had to teach us, that all this dumb stuff that we had to learn that we'll never use in our day-to-day life? That's why poor people stay poor and the rich stay rich. We're all being taught by our parents, in order to be successful in life, we have to work hard, go to school, get a good education so we can go to a good college and, eventually get a good job that has a really good retirement or good wages. But a good percentage of the billionaires in the United States did not graduate college. They didn't trade their time for money. They didn't do none of that. The powers that be enslaved the people by debt. As long as we have debt, we'll have to work some dead end job just to pay the bills. Did you know that the top 10% wealthiest people in this country own more than the 90% or the 90 bottom percent in this country? Excuse me, guys, I'm having. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, we need to see the system they have built for us. It's not broken. It's working fine. They keep us so busy, we don't have time to see what they're doing behind closed doors or what the new bill is that they're passing that takes away our freedoms, like the Patriot Act. criminals in Congress, they're just passing these bills right and left because they keep us fighting each other by using the propaganda through the media that we call news. They use race, they use gender, they use religion, they use wealth. This is an old trick called divide and conquer. We all need to wake up and see that that's what they're doing because we're so busy fighting each other that we don't have time to sit back and reflect on what Congress is doing or what the rich and powerful are doing.